Hello, 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 everybody out there. Welcome to another edition of the Roth Talk podcast. Hello, this is my fourth interview that I got going on. So, man, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This is the Roth Talk podcast. We know it's about to get crazy. I got a dope guest gonna be pulling up here. Listen, man, I want to thank everybody for the support, man. And we going to go ahead while I get my guy going to pull up in here. I'm going to get a little music while I wait for my guy to pull up. Let's keep this going. This is off my new beat tape called Cheryl's Son. Hello. It's available on all download. There go my guy. Let me invite him up. Sheesh. There we go. I'll let that rock a little bit while my guy Bob pull up. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to the Roth Talk podcast. Hey, 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 hey. Got my guy Bob pulling up. Here we go. Whoa, there you go. The legend in the building. Let me
Am I
turn
there?
this. Yes, sir, my guy,
You can hear me? I'm in there.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Everything is good, fam. How you?
I'm doing great, sir. How about yourself? How are you doing? The
I can
legendary.
I can I can see you now.
You got your glasses
Okay.
on? All
I
right,
can
because
see you now.
you like Aunt Jackie, you got to put the glasses on. You got to put the
Yeah.
glasses on so you can see. But listen, down in the comments, I need you got to put the fire signs. We got a legend in the building, a legend alert. Mr. Bob Sumner, man. Come on, y'all. Man, let me get some hearts up here. There you go. Let me see some hearts up here. Let me see some fire signs in the comment. But Bob, thank you again. I know you're a busy guy. I know you're on the road. I know you got shows coming up. I know you got a lot of great things to tell us about. So, man, first and foremost, I just want to say thank you, my guy. You're a true inspiration to me. And I want to make sure I say that publicly. And I'm glad you're a part of my family. So I just want to start off with that, my Uncle Bob.
Listen, it's my pleasure to be here, man. It was a no-brainer. First of all, you guys call her Aunt Jackie, but that's Sister Jackie for me. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? So
sir.
if I'm Uncle Bob and that's Aunt Jackie, that's Sister Jack.
That's
And
right.
so it was a no-brainer, man, because I like what you're doing on that clubhouse, and just to be able to, spread the knowledge coming from all ends. You had my man Pick from Surface, he jumped in there and we were doing what we were doing. And then like JD today, I mean, people are that people don't realize the value, how much money they're saving.
Hello. Hello.
You
Say
heard what
that
I'm
again,
saying?
Bob. Say that again, Bob, for the people in the back, like Auntie said.
Yeah, I mean, people don't understand, and I mean, like, for where I come from, and when I hear, all of the aspiring comedians, or I should say comics before they become comedians,
Yes,
you
sir.
know, I just think about how I've had the pleasure to play a very significant role in the creation of a groundbreaking stand-up comedy show. That I mean, and what we basically did was we helped change lives in the color of comedy
Yes,
forever.
sir.
You know what I'm
Forever,
saying?
ever.
And,
Yes, sir.
LeBron, I'm getting ready to go. This is crazy because this is like a warm up for on Saturday. LeBron James, he has that hot production company,
Mm-hmm.
Spring Hill, and they asked me to come in to be a part of this documentary for CNN that they're doing
Ooh.
on Saturday. So, I'll have a chance to really get deep into where this whole thing comes from. And as you know, I'm on the road, like you mentioned, right now, getting ready to flip stuff. You know what I mean?
Man,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
I cannot wait to talk about that, Bob. You know what I mean? We got time to talk on here, my guy. So I don't want you to hold back if you can. I know certain stuff you're still working on, but let's take it from the beginning for the folks who are just tuning in, who just learning. Shout out to Auntie Jackie in the building. I see you, Auntie. Love you. But Bob, let's take it back
So, Jack,
from the beginning. Can you just talk? Because I know about your musical talent. So, for those people who don't know, you're is much bigger than comedy. it also has a music part that played a big role in that as well. So if you could just take us back from when you first got into what you got into, and then we're gonna keep it going from there.
See, the thing with me, Roth, is that it really started with me literally as a toddler. As a toddler. And only because I was surrounded by music, and comedy and sports. It was like all of this was going on when I'm like 5 years old,
Wow.
because let the truth be told, my uncle was like one of the hottest vocalists in the world in the 50s. You may have heard of a singing group called the Platters.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, my uncle was Tony Williams, the lead singer for the Platters.
Ooh,
Yeah,
hello.
so when you hear, those songs like Only You and The Great Pretender and Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, that's my uncle on the lead, you know.
Wow.
And so what happened there was, whenever they would play the Apollo Theater, my parents would always go over there like every show, and they just fell in love with the world famous Apollo as a whole, even when my uncle and them was on the road playing, somewhere else. And so as they had kids, the kids had to go. So that's where I was, and then my family, a lot of them lived up in Harlem. So we would always, it was like soul food on like the movie.
Yeah.
We would go to the, to their crib, and then we would go to the show on Wednesday. We would go to the amateur night at the Apollo. And I'm a little kid. I'm taking in all of this.
Man.
And so the performers there, would be like the James Brown Review with the Flames and Bobby Bird, and that situation going on. Then I would see like the Motown. I saw everybody from Tammy Terrell to Martha Reeves, like those ones, as well
Right.
as all of the hot acts, Little Stevie Wonder. So with all that
Wow.
happening. With all that happening, like I'm sitting there at the world famous Apollo Theater. Just picture this as a 5-year-old, and you're watching the movie, because they would show a movie at the Apollo before the actual show. All
Oh,
right.
wow.
So you're watching the movie, and then you see it's like a sheer screen. So behind it, you can see the band. Mr. Reuben Phillips and like King Curtis and those guys, right? They'd be back there warming up. Okay, so now it's showtime, and now whoever the host might be, or if it might be Mr. Cooper, or it might be Pigmeat Markham, it might be Sad Sam. It was different, comedic hosts, but then you would start the show with a comedian. Okay, so here I am watching a young Richard Pryor. I'm watching
Ooh.
Slappy White. I'm watching Nipsey Russell. Okay, I'm watching Flip Wilson. Okay, and I'm watching Jackie Moms Mabley like 20 times at least.
Now, hold on, Bob. I gotta stop you right there. That's a lot of black star power. Do you feel like the names that you named? I mean, you're receiving this at 5 years old. All right, I'm sorry, Bob. I just had to jump in right there because it's
No, it's cool.
amazing talents. It's amazing talents you mentioning right there.
So when you go full circle, and here I am in 2015 taking this gig at the Apollo as curator of comedy. All right. And we induct the first 3 non-musical performers. We take in Red Fox, Richard Pryor, and I get to present Jackie Moms Mabley. This is like blowing my mind, but it's like
Wow.
it was already written. So
Yeah.
you hear the story about the Apollo being where stars are born and legends are made, and then you think about what I've been able to do during the '90s, and the reason why I'm going on CNN this week is because they told me yesterday we had a dress rehearsal, and they said whether I realize it or not, I was the one that laid the blueprint during the '90s for black comedians. And I kind of know it, but the thing is, I get an opportunity in 2021 to do it again because you didn't have social media then to see me find the Chappelles and the Tuckers and the Bellamy's and so on and so forth. So it's a beautiful thing. You know, I
Man.
serve a good God. I serve a good God. You dig?
Hello,
Yeah.
hello. We got to give a salute alert for that. We hold on, we're not done yet, y'all. We got some more cooking to do with Bob. But wow. So Bob, let's talk about you going from 5 years old. Let's skip ahead to you being let's say go 10 years old. Let's talk 5 years later. Let's pick up the story from there and let us know like how music, comedy, and all that continue to play a part in your life.
Well, what's happening at 10 years old is my brothers now. It's my brothers. I have two older brothers, Gary and Reggie. All right. And Gary was a guitarist. Gary started playing the guitar by ear at 9 years old. Where
Mm.
at 11, 12 years old, Gary had to get like waivers signed by my parents to go play in actual like clubs. You know what I
Wow.
mean? It was really deep. It was really deep. And then my other brother who had went off to the Air Force after they both played ball in high school. We all played ball, but it was like they were into this music thing. And my big brother Reggie went to the service. And then when he came back, they formed a singing group that if you look
Mm.
up a song and you would love it, I want you to do this. It's called We Can't Get Enough. They
Okay.
filmed they recorded it at Sigma Sound with MFSB, okay? And it's called We Can't Get Enough by Bingo. The name of the group is Bingo, and the song is really hot still out in the UK. It's one of them joints.
I
But
get it.
my brothers were, this is what they did. They was on the road with Smokey Robinson, Kool and the Gang, all of this. So this was all in me forever. But then the records, my mother was working for a well-known record company where she did the royalties for Elvis and Sam Cooke and these people. So music was always around me. And then I had another uncle. My dad had remarried, and he was Willie Randolph from the New York Yankees, and my dad are brother-in-laws. So I
Mm.
was always, in that world too. Like I was in crazy worlds, and then I was just always around music, man. And then me and my friends, we had a clubhouse, just like we were the Little Rascals, fam. You know what I mean? But in
Yeah.
the clubhouse, we had a TV where we could watch all of the football and basketball games, and we had a record player. So
Mm.
all of the records that I was getting from moms, we was in there like playing, and we were actually, I'm gonna be straight up with you. At 13, I was listening to Stanley Clark.
Mm. Now, who was some of the records that you remember from back then? I know Stanley Clark. Who else was some of the records?
Roy Ayers, the
Mm.
JBs, Graham
Mm-hmm.
Central Station, Sly Stone, even like Blue Magic, the Dramatics,
Mm.
like music, fam. Music has always been my thing, but comedy was something that I always saw. Like I'm looking here in my office. My first comedy show was on Friday, February 8th, 1985. You did? So about
Wow.
time I got to Def Jam in 89, 90, I was already ahead of the curve. So about time we were ready to do some stand up on television. It was like a no brainer for me. It's a
No.
no brainer, you know?
All right. Well, hold on, Bob. We gotta go. We gotta backtrack because we got a lot to talk about from the '80s and '90s. But
I'm
let's
here,
go.
fam.
Let's go to let's now. Your brothers had the group. I got the record up, so I'm gonna play the record after I ask you this question
Oh,
because
you
I'm
do?
definitely one. Yep, I got the record up. Bingo. We can't get enough.
Yeah,
It got some views up there on multiple.
yeah.
A bunch of people posting it. So it's definitely a record that I want to check out. But Bob, let's talk about. So your brothers had the group. Did you ever have a singing group? Did you ever try to sing, or was that never
Yes,
your
sir.
thing?
Yeah, yo, don't get me started. Listen.
I've been
Let's
waiting
go
to
back.
ask that question. I've been waiting to ask
Let's
that
go back.
question.
Let's go back to the talent. Let's go back to the One Ankle Park talent show. And it must have been 61, 1966, 1967. I'm 5 years old, and it's me, Martin Jeffrey, Bishop Keith Young, Greg Carter, and Daryl Redding, right? May they all Two of them passed away. Bishop Young is in Atlanta, has a big church down there. Greg Carter, my mom loved Greg. He used to always go to Atlantic City with us. This was the group, right? And my brother Gary, who played guitar, made sure that we was right. In the main songs that we sang was Going to a Go-Go, Tracks of My Tears, Little Anthony and Imperials. I remember the set, right? And we had the routines. And I was the little Michael Jackson dude, right? And we were actually good, and we came in first place a couple times as little, it was cool. So that was one of the groups, and then me, my boy Gerald, and Kurt Slaughter, and Littleton Brown, Johnny Davis, Skippy Smith, like we all used to all sing, man, at my house. You know, we used to sing all of the Moment songs. There was a group called the 21st Century. Can You Remember the Rain? Right?
I love that record. I love that.
Yo, my God. We used to kill that, and we used to kill Do Your Mama Know About Me? That was Does Your Mama Know About Me?
Yeah.
And it was another song by the Moments called Just Because She Wants to Make Love Doesn't Mean She Loves You.
Man, that's a long ass title.
Just because, just because she wants to make love doesn't mean she loves you.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a bad song too.
I'm gonna check that out.
So music was always my thing. Music was all but comedy, and like I said, I played, a lot of sports. So it was a fun journey. I've had a nice journey. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Now, Bob, do you still got the vocals? Is the vocals still there?
Every now and then, it's just according to what I.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What I can do is I can harmonize. Like I can come in and give you some 3-part harmony or whatever you want.
Okay, all right, Bob. Yeah. I'm gonna get you in the stew.
I have I could go falsetto. I could go falsetto on you.
All right, you
let me
warm up the vocals real quick.
No. That's not what I'm here for. Right
all right. We're gonna say that.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
All right. Now we at high school. We going to high school now. We at high school now, Bob. So tell me about going through high school and then what happened after you got out of high school, and then let's just
my high school life was really crazy because like I hung out with everybody. You know what I mean? I didn't have a choice. Like I had like a crew. We had a crew, but then I had like others, and a lot of them were older. Like my best friend, actually, he played at LSU. He passed away. His name's Greg Cook, and Greg, he was like really from elementary school all the way through. We always had a bond. And, he kind of like, but it was so many others that was there. I can go through 1,000 names because it was so much. But at the same time, I learned a lot at an early age coming up. Like high school really put me in a place to where I'm at now. And a lot of people don't know this. And a lot of times I kind of like, I haven't really spoken about it publicly that much, only because I have other stories to tell, and, I'm going to be this, that, and the other. But one of the things that I recall more than anything is, again, when I was coming through the ranks, I was a ball player. I mean, I was a serious ball player. And you could see that my rise was going to be where it was. But I was also I was educated, but I was also kind of rough around the edges when it came to, I hung out. All right, I hung out late. I was one of them youngins that hung out late. And I don't think that it was cool for a minute until I got to my sophomore year. I ran into a basketball coach that changed my life for the better while he was trying to fuck me over. You did? And I mean, rightfully so. People were coming to the games and it was crazy. But I learned a lot from not getting, and then I saw all my guys who had transferred and who had played with me, they all went on to make all county and stuff, and they asking me, what happened? And I'm
Mm.
like, I don't know what happened, but I'm gonna take this as a positive, as a instead of a negative, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going pro. You know what
Mm.
I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
look at me, I did go pro.
Hello. Hello. You making that pro money over there. Hello.
So that's what happened.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. But even in high school, I used to have a lot of parties. You know what I mean? I was the MC at the Gong Show. You know what I mean? That type of stuff. I was always trying to do something that gave me my direction to the next level. And
Mm-hmm.
then I was going to go to Tuskegee Institute, right?
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna go down there and play ball because my brother was in the service down there, and I had been playing ball with the guys down there, and I knew that I could
You can.
like leave Roselle High School and go down there and make a name for myself if that's
Mm-hmm.
what I was going to do. But
Right.
then my dad found a way for me to get into Seton Hall University, which they accepted me, and I had always wanted to be on their radio station because this guy Alfred Davis, Dr. Alfred Davis from Roselle, I used
Mm-hmm.
to like, he inspired me because he was on the air
Mm.
there. I was in the music and stuff. So, and then I wanted to be a teacher as well. So
Oh wow.
I went to Seton Hall University and got on the radio, and and the rest was history, man. I do a show every Sunday here.
Yes,
In
sir.
this office, I do a show called Grooving on a Sunday Afternoon with Bob Sumner. And
That
it's
right.
like it's a little bit of Heat Wave, it's a little bit of Gil Scott Heron, it's a little
Mm.
bit of Intruders. It's crazy. Yeah,
So
yeah.
staying true to your roots of DJing.
Brand new heavies. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. We
Now,
get
now,
that.
so Bob, so what did you major in when you went to Seton Hall? What was your major?
I started in elementary ed.
Because you want to be a teacher.
Well, I wanted to be a teacher because I always felt like there was so many kids that wanted to be somebody, but they had nobody to believe in them.
Mm.
And because I know that I had a teacher by the name of Edith Maynor in second grade, okay? 1968. Imagine that. You have a black woman teacher in
Mm.
1968. All right. A
Mm.
lot went down in 68.
Oh
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? But she was there to inspire me. I was an A student, and she kept me with that A's because she would like reward me. You know, and I'm
Mm.
saying, wow, I could get like a new football game or a football card or
Yeah.
whatever. And then my brother had a friend named Don, right? My brother had a friend named Don who used to give me like what Don used to give me like $5. He was a sky cap at the airport. So, you know, I guess he used to give me some of his tips. So
hmm
for every A, he was giving me $5. I
Mm.
and
Hello.
I was 7 years old. You know, you dig? So
That's a
that was a
lot of
lot of
money.
money.
That
Yeah,
was a
that was
lot of
like
money.
30, that was like $35. You
Oh,
know?
I'm winning. I'm about to go to the candy store and
Yeah,
tear
yeah.
that.
Oh my God, that was crazy. So it was Miss Maynor who really was the one that got me started, you know,
mm.
and I just wanted to be a teacher. And the crazy part was your freshman year, I'm 18 years old, and they had me with a seventh grade. Okay. It was a seventh grade. No, eighth grade. It was an eighth grade. The school went from K to 8 down in North, right?
Mm.
I'm 18, and you know some of them eighth graders was how old?
Shoot, what's that? 12, 13?
Think about the other ones that was 14
Oh man.
in eighth grade. You did, and
Oh
here I
yeah.
am, 18. I was like, man, this ain't working right here because these, you know. So I kind of like phased out of that and went straight into communications, and then minored in African American studies. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So
Okay.
I had both things going on for me because I really had all intentions to go to a HBCU, but when the Seton Hall thing came about and I could get some nice dough, it was
Yes,
all
sir.
good. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
that's
Hmm.
so dope. That's so dope because you ended up really becoming a teacher anyway. Because you've been teaching. You know.
Well, here's the thing. when I graduated from Seton Hall, before Def Jam, it was that what color is your parachute moment.
Yeah.
So to make it easy on me, I went back to my high school and became a substitute teacher. They would give me like my own class. Then they gave me a little spot in the back of the library where I was helping like the kids with basic skills, math and English. Like I was
Oh
there
wow.
for a couple of years, and then I became like an advisor to one of the classes. I put together with one of the English teachers. We did a homecoming pageant. Like we started the homecoming pageants. I
Mm.
did a fashion show for a class. Like I was involved. I did all of the
Wow.
proms. I DJ'd. Me and my boy Herm Hines. We had a nice little company because we came from the radio at the college. So I did all of the proms, the
Mm.
proms. It was like I was killing the game, but
Man.
I had still had room to get out there and do what I was trying to do, as I call it, the birth of death, my road to death.
Yes, sir.
You
You know
know?
you got to go
Yeah,
through that where you're trying to figure it out. So
yeah.
how long was the time frame from getting out of high school, then you going to Def Jam? Like how much time in between, and then with you teaching, like how many years of
It was
time was
all
it?
it was all it was all 84 to 89. It was a 5 year. It was
Okay.
5 years. My boy Johnny Cummins, one of my best friends in the world, he hooked me up with a job in the corporate world, and I damn near had a nervous breakdown. I felt like I
Mm.
was on a damn plantation. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And one lunchtime, I asked Johnny to take me to the hospital. Real talk.
Oh
And
wow.
basically, that was my last day.
Say corporate world
You
ain't
know,
for me.
I figure it out from there. And then my uncle Bobby Townsend, right? Not the Robert Townsend, the other one, but another one. He was in the business. He's a Howard grad, and he kind of like got me on my like. He said, "What do you want to do?" And I ran down all this shit. I said so much, just like on the clubhouse, right?
Right,
Just like on the
right.
club. Hey, I said so many things. He said, "Now hold up. What do you really want to do?" You know
Mm.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I took a page from him. I took a page from John Johnson from Ebony Jet. I had a
Mm.
conversation with him one day, and it was very inspirational. You know,
Mm.
so I just molded myself to get to Def Jam, but I got to Def Jam from my uncle Bobby telling me how to network. I even took a job selling appliances
Mm.
because I wanted to be around music. So I was selling stereo equipment and all that. And
Mm.
one time I was selling a stereo to somebody, and they said, "You sound familiar. You sound like this guy we used to listen to on Friday nights on the radio."
Hello.
They thought I was Frankie Crocker.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? They thought I was
Uh,
like somebody. All
right.
I was trying to do is, anytime I get a chance to do something, like if you
Mm.
want Bob Sumner to do something for you, you getting 100. I
Hello.
You ain't
Hello.
getting 98. I'm not giving you 98. You ain't chasing me for them other 2% that I told you I couldn't give you. Because
Right.
some people would take 98% of what I got, but I can't offer you that. So
Hello.
so whenever, like, that's why my comedy shows, that's why I've been able to give you Bill Bellamy, Dion Cole, Cedric the Entertainer, Cheryl Underwood, the list goes on and on.
Peace.
And I have a whole new crew. I'm looking over here at some of these names that I don't even want to say because I gotta hold on to them. You dig?
It ain't ready yet. It ain't ready yet. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's an
All
oven.
right. All right. So that's a great segue. So because it's like you inspire me right now, Bob. Because when you see people, have some type of success, you think it's just automatic. You just think they had an easy road, and then but voila. So to hear, you were actually teaching and giving your time, and man,
I didn't even mention, and I went back and I was coaching basketball, helping the same cat that benched me.
mm,
You did? Because it
mm,
wasn't about me. It wasn't
yeah,
about me. You know
yeah.
what I mean? It was never about me. I
Come
just
on.
loved the game. I loved the game. And then when I did get those opportunities, I did what I did. You know what I
Yes, sir.
mean?
Yes,
Trust
sir.
and believe me, there was times when I would jump center
Mm.
at 5'10".
So you doing all positions, 1 through 5.
All types of stuff like that. It was crazy. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, perfect, perfect, man. Bob, man, we cooking right now. Legendary Bob Sumner, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow my guy. We're gonna talk real quick. Let's talk about Def Jam Records, legendary record label. I mean, you for the culture. Let's talk about Def Jam, and let's talk about how did we get Def Comedy Jam. Hello.
All right. This is how it went down. I was booking jazz and comedy shows in these two venues in Elizabeth, New Jersey and North, New Jersey. And I had it timed where I had the sets. I would start a set. The first set in one place started at like 8:30. And then I would start the other set at this other place at 9:15. So I had 6 minutes to get from one when we shut down and break. I'll leave and go get the other one started, right? I remember Regina Bell rode with me one time. She was bugging out, like looking at how I was doing this thing, right? So anyway, I'm doing this jazz and comedy thing, right? One place was more jazz. The other place was jazz and comedy. We started with jazz being the hot night, and then comedy kind of found itself because it was brand new. And I was doing it with a classmate of mine. His name's Rocky Bryant. Rocky is now the drummer for he's in the orchestra for the Broadway play Tina.
Oh, wow.
And he's also the regular drummer. He took Steve Ferrone's place in Average White Band.
Sheesh.
Okay. Yeah, so this is like one of my best friends, my Aquarius brother. All right, we're a week apart. All right. So anyway, Rocky and I was doing this thing. So one day I got a phone call from a young lady named Carmen Ashurst. And Carmen was referred to me by another young lady, Brandis McKenzie, her cousin, who was part of Gregory Hines' backup singers. So she had told her about me. I'm a young lion, basically, dealing with all these jazz cats. I mean, a lot of them, from Dizzy to all, it was a lot of people, right?
Sheesh.
So I'm a youngin' trying to make this move. So she asked me, could I get her artist, Monty Croft was his name. He was signed to Columbia. Could I get him in the room? And I didn't have any openings at the time, but I had done a show, with Lonnie Liston Smith up at this festival up in Ossining, New York. Like I was part of this show, this group of people. So I was bringing a comedian up there, right? And Monty got on the gig, right? So after the gig, we're sitting there, and Carmen really enjoyed the young comedian. Nobody really knew who he was. It turned out to be he was Bill Bellamy, right?
So okay, hello.
So as we're sitting there, she takes out her card. Now she never told me about her day job, right? Her card said Operations Director, Def Jam Records, right? Cool ass card with a little hole in the record. It was dope, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow. So now my mind, I'm always thinking, right? So now on Monday I get back home and I call Carmen, right? Well, not on Monday, but it's a little bit during that week. I call Carmen because I'm thinking maybe I could get Bill on some shows, because I knew that Chris Thomas used to do a lot of shows, the mayor of Rap City. He used to do a lot of shows with Run and all of them, right? So I called her, and I knew she liked Bill and stuff. And she said, just the man I wanted to talk to, right?
Wow.
And I say,
hello.
What's up? She says, she just got a promotion. And I'm like, nice, right? I said, so what's the promotion? She said, I'm president of Def Jam, right? And she said, and I'm looking for an assistant. You what?
Come again. Hold on. I just did that in my head. Say that again.
I said, what? So she said, I'm looking for an assistant. Do you know anybody? And I said, yes, I do. You're talking to him. right? And now the way I was, I had my schoolboys. I used to wear suits. I had that jazz, that young. I'm 23 years old, 24 years old, doing this thing. So she didn't think that I was even interested in anything. So she
Yeah.
told me to come see her, right? And when I come in to see her, who's getting off the elevator but Russell, right? And I'm
Russell,
like,
hold
wow.
on, Russell Simmons? Hello?
Yeah, Russell's getting off the elevator, and I'm like saying, wow, he don't look nothing like Blair Underwood from Crush Group. You know what I'm saying? It was really, it was
Big
really,
difference.
it
Big
was
difference.
deep. It
Yeah.
was deep. But I went up there, we talked, and it wasn't even a whole lot of, it wasn't a whole lot. She already knew everything, you know what I mean, about me. So she gave me my start date, and about time I got home, my answering machine, because we had answering machines then, she had gave me an earlier start date. Now, the craziest part about that is the first day that I started work at Def Jam, right? We were right down the street from NYU in the Village, right? And the first day I would take the path to 8th, right? 8th Street, right? I take the path and then I walk through Washington Park over to Broadway. So I'm coming through the first day. I'm coming through and it's some cameras in Washington Park. They shooting something, right? The girl walks up to me my first day of work and she's asking me, do I have any time to do this, to talk? I'm trying to I'm excited. I'm going Def Jam, tells you who I
Right.
am.
This
You
is
know
my
what I'm
first
saying?
day. This is my
Yeah,
first
this is
day.
check out where she was from. MTV. MTV was out there because MTV would always be out on the streets. They was looking for content. They asked me of all questions, didn't know me from a can of paint. They asked me, what kind of music do I like? Right? And it was some monkey bars there, right? So I climbed up on the monkey bars so they could shoot me. I got real artistic with it
Man,
and
hold
shit,
on,
right?
man, hold on.
Like,
Where
I
can we
mean, I
find
was
this
like,
footage? Where is
I
this
was like,
footage, Bob?
I was like, here's another opportunity, right? This is like 1989, 90. So I went up there and I started talking about what I love the most, and that's the funk. You dig? I was talking about the funk, P-Funk. And it was just a
Hello.
beautiful time. And then I had time to get to work. That was the beginning of my journey.
Wow, we gotta find that footage. I'm gonna call MTV. I gotta get that footage
They
because it
wouldn't
gotta
have
be
that
out.
footage because no, the reason I wasn't nobody then, that was some footage that they don't have a clue that was Bob Sumner.
Man, listen,
I wouldn't even
making
I
the
couldn't even
call.
I
I'm
couldn't
still
even
making the
tell
call.
you I couldn't even tell you what the story, like the
Yeah,
story, it would go back
right.
to probably March 13th,
Okay.
89, something like
Okay.
that.
I'm look.
Like something, man.
I'm not
You know,
giving up hope, Bob. I'm not giving up hope. Maybe down in the basement somewhere they got those old footage tapes because that
right.
would be classic to see that a young 23-year-old Bob out there on some monkey bars talking about some music. So man, this like
Crazy,
I'm trying to
man.
picture it in my head right now. Like yo, that's so dope. So man, you that we're just at the start of Def Jam. We didn't even got to the names and everything else, and you've already had an amazing. I mean, like from 5 years old on, like you've been around legends before they was even legends. So, like, man, that's so amazing, man. But let's pick up from your first day, and then we can just go right into it from there.
I mean, it's been so many things going on prior to Def Comedy Jam. You know what I mean? Because I was there working for the company. And like we had a show one night at the BRE. They used to have the BRE, Sidney Miller's Black Radio exclusive magazine. And prior to Def Comedy Jam, and I got a crazy story about BRE and Def Comedy Jam, but prior to that, during the time when Hammer was hot, right? I mean, he hot in the fish grease, right? And he BET was doing a Hammer show live from the Sanger Theater, right? At the BRE. Leor was not going to be second fiddle to nobody. Right. All right. So Leor decides that, and I just come from New Orleans, and I saw the place where we went. We went to the New Orleans Auditorium, right? And Leor brought the whole, not Def Jam, but the whole Rush team. On this show was, now this is when we had just went from just Def Jam. We had Rush associated labels. So we had brought a lot of people in, and we were shooting a video for this group called the Afros. Okay. So everybody was in town, all right, to be a part of this video. But on this show, and the hit at this time was Fear of a Black Planet. That was the Public Enemy's album, right? So we had 911 as a joke with Flavor Flav on it, right? That was the hit, right? So on the show was all of our Rush acts: Public Enemy, Run DMC, LL Cool J, EPMD, Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, Slick Rick, Eric B. and Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Leaders of New School, Third Base, okay, the Beastie Boys, okay, every Nikki D, like he was like, it's never been done before. So I'm like in amazement because we're all in one hotel. We're staying at the Clarion on Canal. Def Jam really took over to the point where they canceled that other show. Leor won that one.
Hold on. That was about 10 artists that Leor brought down.
You froze on me.
Did I froze on? Can you hear me? We back. I can hear. Can you hear me, Bob? We free. Hold on. We a little technical. Let me know when you're back. Oh, no, he's spinning right now. Hopefully he's back. Let's see if he's back. But anyway, man, shout out to everybody tuning in right now to the Roth Talk podcast. Hopefully I'm not frozen. But man, this is so far amazing time. Oh, Bob fell off. But listen, Bob's gonna hop back in. Something I got a call. I had to put my phone on do not disturb. But listen, man, so far this man done had. All right, there we go. He back. Sheesh. Let's see. Let's make sure you back in here. They trying to cook you in there, Bob.
What happened?
I don't know. I ended up getting a call. Then I think it just went haywire. So I just put my phone on do not disturb, and we cooking. So we back now. We back. You can hear me? I'm good.
Yeah. But I was just running down a bunch of names. Did you get them names?
I got them names. I actually asked the question, and that was about 10. That was about 10 artists that he brought through to that show. I mean, like, what is there any footage of this show? Is there any?
I don't know. I don't know where footage would be, but when I tell you that was like an incredible time, it was as incredible as when, I never forget, me and Kenny Lee, Russell's driver, right? We had to go up to the Bronx to get Slick Rick's jewelry out of the pawn shop. Slick. This is when Ricky was doing time. Remember back in the day, he was doing time. So he had come out, to do a video. So we had to go up there to get his jewelry, right? So we was like in traffic on the West Side Highway for hours, right? Because it was rush hour, okay? So we faded, man. About time we get up there, we're faded, right? So we get up there and we get all of the little sacks with all of the jewelry, right? So now we got to make that trek back down to the office and go through all of the jewelry. Something was missing. You got to be kidding me,
You gotta
right?
be kidding, right?
We had spent the whole, man, it was so, I know what was missing?
What was missing? The tooth. Oh
The diamond, the diamond on the tooth. Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. So
So
we
they
had to go back. Go back. I just never will forget that. That was like a crazy
yeah.
moment.
So they
Yeah.
took the diamond out. They took the diamond out.
Well,
Tried
it
to.
was, yeah, I mean, it was in the bag. You know, it was that
Mm-mm.
bag. I guess somebody thought that we wasn't gonna, pick up on it. You
Come
know?
on, man.
Yeah,
Sheesh. And I know it was heavy as ever carrying all that jewelry out.
yeah, man. It was a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Wow. So now you're doing all the shows. So you're doing the acts. Now let's go into let's. So are you still doing the comedy shows while you're doing all this as well? Are you still running the shows in New Jersey?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. That was a constant for me. It started at Terminal D, and they kind of like ran me out of there. And I took Bill Bellamy with me to a place called Club 88. Big up to Billy Press and Eric Livesey. These guys welcomed me with open arms. And then I had a partner who passed away, Harold Maynard, man, great guy. He and we took Bill Bellamy under our wing, and stuff started happening. I don't know if you could see over my shoulder right there.
Mm-hmm.
You see the direct. You see that clock up there?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's Bill Bellamy. Well, Will Sylvan's another comedian. He made that clock back in like 1990 or something, 91.
Wow. Wow.
Hmm.
So all right. So you still running the comedy. Now
Yeah.
tell me about. Did you bring it to Russell? Like, hey, I got a great idea that we can.
No, no, no. It was nothing like that, and
Okay.
it's the trip because it's so many different stories to how that went down.
Mm-hmm.
But my story is like I told you. My first comedy show was in '85. You
So
know what I
you been
mean?
you
So,
not new to this.
yeah.
You're not new to
Yeah,
this.
I wasn't new to this at all, but everybody else seemed to be new to it, and
Right.
it was a lot of different things that was going on. But when I was working as an assistant, to Carmen, Stan Lathan used to always call there to speak to her, because uh, Russell and Stan, they were working on, partnering. And
Mm-hmm.
so they started doing different TV projects. So one of the projects they wanted to do was a stand-up comedy show.
Mm.
So Carmen told them that, they needed to look no further because she got the dude right here. And, although, other people had started doing comedy shows and stuff, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what was going on behind closed doors in them offices, but
Right.
they asked me, some HBO execs they had been talking to, wanted to
Mm.
see what this thing was. So I took them up to the Harlem, to the Uptown Comedy Club, and they saw what it was. And then, at the time I was at Club 88 with Bill Bellamy out in Jersey. So, we put together, they came out there, saw what it was. Like everything was popping. So I was asked to do a 2-show pilot, basically
Mm.
a pilot, right? A pilot and 10 comedians. So, I put together, I did some showcases. Bernie Mac was the first person that I saw perform down in
Mm.
Atlanta. I saw
Mm.
Bernie perform down there, and then he set up a showcase for me in Chicago, and I set up one in at my room at Club 88, and pretty much the rest was history. Then HBO asked me to do a showcase for the execs, so we did that over at Sweetwater's
Mm.
in New York, and the rest was history, man.
Sheesh. Hold on. I gotta stop you there. So you getting your pilot together. Did you feel some pressure or did you already feel like you had a good idea of how you wanted to address this
I never
pilot?
felt any pressure. And the crazy thing is, and I tell everybody that, we had that nice run and we did what we did, but that was so long ago. Like I've been out here for a while, and everybody been trying to figure out how could we do the next Def Jam. Everybody has
Right,
tried, but
right, right.
I have the formula. You know what I mean? I'm ready to do it like tomorrow,
Hello.
because it's time.
Yes,
It's
sir.
time, and trust me, once you see, what I have cooking, you're gonna be like, damn, B, this is just
I
what it
already
is.
know, Bob. I already
Yeah,
know. I mean,
yeah.
the legends, just the people that you saw Bernie Mac, a young Bernie Mac in Atlanta. And what was it about Bernie that you just said, hey, this guy has it? Like, what was it about him?
You just said it. You just said it. It.
He
That's
had
what
it.
it's all about, it each and every time. You know, each and every time, like Bernie, see the thing about Bernie had already been in the game. He'd
Mm,
been seasoned, and that's what people have to understand. Even like with a lot of these YouTube artists and stuff doing these little quick videos, that's a lot different than you really honing your craft. No different than that kid. A lot of times, like I don't really look at a lot of footage unless it's for a competition or something, because like everything I do it just like it's sports. Like I lay it
mm.
down like the combines. When I do these live sets,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
like the combines, and it's like a draft. I rate them and everything,
Mm.
because when people be sending you footage, it could be like their best sets. Just like if somebody send you their game film,
The
you
highlight
only
tape.
see you
Hmm.
only see when they made the shot. You don't see how many times they got the ball ripped off from them, or
Hello.
how many foul shots they missed. You don't see that.
That's right.
So that's why I like to do it like this, and I like to go into the sticks. I've been to Chattanooga. I saw a star in Chattanooga. All
Mm.
right. And I would have to explain it when you see him. But
Yeah.
I've been to Huntsville. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about Chicago. It's not just about Atlanta, even though those are two of the media spots for stand up.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I love what I do because I love changing lives. That's why I'm here. And
That's
I
dope.
understand that. I was carjacked in '05. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? I mean, I literally almost died.
Oh
And
wow.
and at that moment, I knew that I had to like reshuffle the deck. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And
Mm.
even like now, since March 2020, I had to
Hmm.
reshuffle the deck. That's why I have to see every comedian, unless you've had a Showtime, HBO, or Netflix special.
Right.
Come on now. I mean, the narrative has changed. So it's like every man for us. When I was doing Def Jam, the Bulls were the team of choice. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. I was finding the Scottie Pippens of the world. Think about
Come
Scottie
on.
Pippen.
My favorite
Scottie
player.
Pippen, but Scottie Pippen, nobody knew who the hell Scottie Pippen was until the Bulls drafted him. Nobody knew who Bernie Mac, Bill Bellamy, Chris Tucker, no, unless you was in their little areas.
Right.
So that's the same thing I do, and I still do. I'm telling you right now, I have some comedians right now that I know going to be stars.
I can't
And
wait,
if
man.
anybody, that's why, like, I just think about who's going to be that driver. Like, I already have Laugh Mob set up to
Hmm.
do whatever. Like, I wanted to do this thing. My motto is like Mr. Gordy's. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? I want Laugh Mob to be like what Motown is,
Hmm.
or you know what I mean? Because I know how to give you the Marvin Gaye's, the Temptations, and the Supremes in
Right.
terms of giving you Bernie Mac, Chris Tucker, and Cheryl Underwood. You dig what I'm saying?
Come
So
on.
I have that. I have the new ones now. I already know I
Woo!
do. Right. And then I want to make movies just like they did with Fridays,
Hmm.
and what they did with House Party. And when you think
Hmm.
about it, it was all my youngins, right? It's a whole new group that we could take with these, low, not low budgets, but, small budgets, and
Hmm.
turn them into, money makers. We could do this.
That's right. You
We
need,
could do
hey,
another, we
and
could
Unc,
definitely
I'm
do another.
available.
Kid
And Unc,
Capri
I'm
and I
available.
right now,
Hello.
Kid Capri and I have been in the lab trying to stir up the new version, our
Wow.
way, which is the real way.
The real way. I mean, listen. I mean, you guys changed the whole '90s. Like y'all changed. Like I remember as a kid sneaking. My parents used to tell me go out the room when they watched Def Jam. But here go
I
me.
heard the story.
You know, you know what I mean.
I
Here
heard
go
them
me.
story.
I'm sneaking in there. I'm listening to Martin. I'm listening, to Bernie and everybody, Chris. And I mean, we didn't. It just took it by storm. It just took everything over. So let's talk. Let's get back on that real quick. Let's get back on the Def Comedy Jam and
I,
y'all first show, and just let's kind of hear it from there.
You know, it's funny that what you just said because Paul Pierce, the Hall of Fame ball player, Paul said the same thing. Paul said when he was a kid, he said they didn't really have cable. They used to have to get the cable from the next door. And bring it was funny, but I mean,
Right.
it was easy for me to do these shows because like I had already been working with the Steve Harveys in those
Mm.
guys, you know, because you got to remember before any of it, you know, and I have to give a shout out to my man Chuck Sutton at Showtime at the Apollo, because Showtime at the Apollo was basically the only place that you could see like a comedian that you may have never seen before. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Other than
Mm-hmm.
that, if you wasn't Michael Winslow, Jimmy Walker, or Mario Joyner or somebody, you know, they wasn't really taking us, you know,
Hello.
that serious unless you was
Hello.
somebody. So I was able just to be able to find all these diamonds in the rough, man. And but the thing is, you know, I look at a lot of people to break it down to who I select because, you know, there's a lot of people, not to knock, you know, the other shows, but there was comedians that did those other shows 5 and 6 times but never stepped foot on my stage
Hello.
because I'm looking for a star. I'm looking for somebody that could take it to the next level, whether you're touring, whether you're in movies, or whether you're, you know, a television, you know, phenom. You know,
Yes.
when you
Yes,
think, and
sir.
that's what, you know, that's what this thing I'm getting ready to do with LeBron's company, man. It's like they get it. You know, they
Yeah.
took time out to talk to this dude because a
Yeah.
lot of people try to bypass me, and I know it. You know, like right now they're getting ready to do a documentary on Bernie Mac. You know,
Mm.
Bernie has gone on to say on his audio book that before he met me, he was fronting. You
Yeah.
dig? So
Yeah.
there's a whole 2, 3 years of Bernie Mac that was part of me. You
Yeah.
know, he was even the host of my tour. You know what I mean?
Mm.
While Bernie, you know, because Martin went out by himself when we first hit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I took Bernie on to be my you know, the host in that first show, that first tour you're talking about
Mm-hmm.
had Bill Bellamy, Adele Givens, and a comedian by the name of Reggie McFadden, right?
Man.
And then I put out 2 tours at the same time. Joe Torre, the late great Ricky Harris, Simply Marvelous, you know,
Sheesh.
and then I had Cedric the Entertainer, Chris Tucker. You know, they was all on tour with me, and of course, there was nothing like the Kid Capri. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
Kid had to open up the show. Yeah.
Now, Bob, what made you select the certain type of comics with the certain type of comics? Because it felt like the show never fell off. It just felt like it either just went up or it just stayed on the high. Like, what
I,
was the
I
thinking
stay
behind that?
I try to balance it out in terms of giving everybody something. Somebody's gonna like one of these people, if not all of these people. I want everybody had favorites. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Whether it was D.L. Hughley, whether it was downtown Tony Brown. You know what
Right.
I mean? It was so many different ways we would go. And Cheryl Underwood actually drove from California to Orange, New Jersey to prove to me why she should be on Def Comedy Jam, and she was absolutely correct.
Yes, she was. Shut it down. You hear me?
Yes,
Shut
she
it
did.
down.
She did that
And
same set in the Peppermint that she did on HBO with the same clothes. Yeah.
man, listen. I mean, it was like this was like the raunchy, the funny, the real. Like it just embodied everything, especially as a culture.
Well,
Like,
listen, let me just say this to you though. This is funny because a lot of times people call me or people say, "Did you really pass on Dave Chappelle 3 times?" I'm like,
oh yeah,
man,
tell that
I'm like,
story.
I'm
I was
like,
gonna get to that.
that was a joke. I
Yeah.
had David working, man. David worked at 18. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Mm.
So, you know, and then Aries, I had Aries when he got working papers, 16. You know,
Mm.
because Aries used to work in the first club that I started when I was doing jazz. His mother told me that her son was doing comedy and can he come through here? And I was like, long as it's with you, Doris, it's all good, right? And he got on that stage at 14 and he never looked back. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. See, like I didn't even know that about Aries. I didn't even see that, and that's amazing stories that we gonna make sure that at least me, I'm gonna make sure that we keep telling these stories because already Bob, I mean, people already say saved alive. We getting so much out of this interview. Again, thank you, my guy, for taking this time out. We cooking, we cooking, we cooking.
You
Now,
know who I
now,
love? You know who I love? Mike Epps.
sheesh, I love
Because
Micah.
Mike has done it his way, and a lot of people didn't always believe in him, but I
Mm,
believed in him. And I mean, I always said whenever I have a forum to be able to tell you how dope this guy is, it was a time when Mike was grinding it out.
yeah.
And Mike called me because, he didn't have no dough going
Mm,
into his next show. It was going to
mm,
be like a few days before he can get it right.
yeah.
So I told him, I said, well, listen, man, if you could get from New York to New Jersey, I'll give you $150 to hold you over till, your next gig. Right. So can you get $1? Right? Can you get $1?
They had a
So
dollar
sure enough,
busters.
I pulled up to North Penn Station. Mike comes out the door and I give him the money. Right. So he goes on, he becomes Day Day.
Mm,
Okay. He becomes Day Day at some point, right? I never asked Mike for anything. Like I had never expected anything, right? I'm at the Comedy Store one night, right? I gave Mike $150 years ago. I'm
yeah.
at the Comedy Store. Mike asked me to come over to the side, with him, right? He puts $300 in my hand and he says, I'll never forget you, B.
Mm, that's real. That's real right there, B.
Yeah, that's my
That's
dude.
real. That's real
Yeah.
love right there. Who some other comedians that that you want to shout out, give some love to right now? Because Mike's my guy.
Yeah, I mean, you could put me on the spot with that one. You know what I mean? Because there's so many of them. I could tell you this. One day I was in the Village, right? And Regina King was with me, right?
Hello.
And we were at this pizza on McDougal and what is it? McDougal and Third, I guess it is. There's a pizza spot, and there was a dude in there that we knew. And this ain't Chicago pizza. This is fold this pizza up, let the grease drip pizza, right? Dude asked for a knife and fork, man. And it like bugged us
Tucking it
out because it's
in.
like, what the fuck? Like, come on, man. Right? It was one of them, come on, man. So that became a thing with us. Like, don't ever let me see you eat pizza with a knife and fork. Right? So so I used to run that down to, the comedians, right?
Mhm.
So two comedians in particular have like repeated that to me. There's been more, but two in particular. Um, DL Hughley. One day, DL says in the green room, his opening act, he said, "Bob, tell him what you told me." Right? And I'm like trying to figure out what was it that I told DL that I need to be telling this guy. And then I said, "Damn, a DL." He said, "What you say about the pizza?" I was like,
That
"Wow." You
you
know what I
remember
mean?
that.
And then Afion Crockett. Afion does it all the time. You know?
They big time now. They big timers. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well,
Yeah,
Bob.
but again, there's Tasha Smith, of course there's Bill Bellamy, Cedric, Tucker,
It's a lot.
it's people. Dion Cole, these people, it's Ricky Smiley sent me some Oakland Raiders stuff some Las Vegas Raiders stuff or some
Hello.
Raiders stuff
Hello.
for my birthday. Tommy Davidson, the great. It's so many of them, man. That
Sheesh.
Craig Robinson. Like I can't joke. If I better stop before somebody say you ain't say
You
me
ain't
type
say
shit.
my name. My bad. My
You,
bad, Bob.
you
I didn't
know,
mean to put you on the spot. Blame
yeah.
Roth. Blame me for that question. But I
JB
just want
Smooth,
JB
you
Smooth.
know, yeah.
Man, I just wanted you to list the people, Bob. That's what I really asked you because it's so many that I don't even know because it's man. I mean, what you can say thousands now. I mean, like you got a lot of people that's attached to you in this comedy world. So is that what inspired you to go into Laugh Mob? And then I ain't gonna keep it much longer. I just want to talk about
Well,
Laugh Mob and what you're working on currently, and then we can
Laugh
close it
Mob
out.
is nothing but Laugh Mob is really nothing but more of Bob's best. Okay? Because I keep a roster of, the people that are coming up as well as the people who's come through my through my tree or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, just I have it right here. If you want to hear a couple names,
Yes, sir.
there's been some type of attachment. There's been some attachment because when you look at even Tiffany Haddish,
Mm-hmm.
she blew up in like 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
you go back to 2007, she's on Def Comedy Jam.
Mm-hmm.
2007. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? So what
Yep.
does that mean? Or Joe Coy, right? There's a
Mm.
story that Joe Coy tells about when he did my show in Vegas as an opener because Honest John asked me. I ain't know the dude. And
Mm-hmm.
Kid Capri is the dude that starts my show. Kevin Hart, if you read Kevin Hart's book, Kevin won a contest that I had in 96 and 97.
Wow.
And it is what it is, but I knew that Kevin had it. Coca Brown had it. She won the same
Mm.
contest in Virginia. D. Ray Davis won that same contest in Chicago.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So then you have like Craig Robinson,
Mm-hmm.
Eddie
Legend.
Griffin,
Legend.
Monique,
Legend. Come on, man.
like I said, Cheryl Underwood, Ricky Smiley, Donnell Rollins.
Yeah.
You
Oh.
might have saw Donnell's been talking on the Breakfast Club about the first time how I put him on. If you
Mm.
look that up, it's crazy because it's true.
Yeah.
And it's just so many people. Tasha Smith, people don't even know Tasha did stand up. Tasha did Death
Mm.
Jam.
She
I
did
put
Def Jam,
Tasha
right?
on Death
Yeah.
Jam. Yeah, but
Wow.
see this book here though.
Yes, sir.
This one here. This book is so old that this is the backstage pass for Luther Vandross and we're opening act Boys to Men.
Wow. Wow.
But this
Sheesh.
is the official Def Comedy Jam book from 1991 all the way till we shut down in 97 before we came back in '06. This is the
Sheesh.
magic in this book, right?
Sheesh.
And then like I said, these are going to be the new magic names, you
Hello.
know. And like we was talking on the clubhouse earlier when David was talking about he keeps a pencil and a pad.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you this is how we do it. All of that having stuff on your
Your phone.
on your machine,
Yeah.
it don't hold the same value because I got to be able to cross out and move, and I be on it, man.
I'm still with the writing stuff down. I'm still with that era, so that's definitely big. Now, Bob, you give us a lot of value on Clubhouse. Of course, you come through. You blessed us today, even though I wasn't able to talk. I'm still listening in. So,
I
thank you
get
for the
it, man.
love. Thank you for the love and everything on Clubhouse. And I just want to go ahead and just last in on what's Mr. Bob. I know you got the new Rolodex, but what can we be looking for the future with Mr. Bob Sumner? What can we
Well,
be excited
well,
about?
one thing that I'm working on right now, I already shot the pilot with Bill Bellamy, and I'm just working out, where I'm going to launch and how I'm going to launch. But I'm at the world famous Apollo Theater, and we're getting ready to get back in there for the sixth season of the Apollo Comedy Club. And my DJ there, Cool DJ Marv, he's
Mm.
riding with me on this podcast called Just Kicking It with Bob Sumner and Cool DJ Marv. So
Hello.
what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a journey down, different lanes with all of the comedians who I just named and many more. And we're just going to be talking about all different types of stuff because I could get a little deeper than most with them because I know the beginnings and
Right.
I applaud them for where they are now. So I want to give them their flowers. You know what
Hello.
I'm saying? And so that's one of the things. And I'm working on a couple nice little projects that I really don't want to give it all away, but one of them will be a late night stand-up show. And
Woo, hoo,
I'm
hoo.
looking for, and then I'm also looking for another home for Laugh Mob's Laugh Tracks. Which did you hear the guy come on today on Clubhouse? The guy came on
Yes.
and he gave that little joke, and me and JD
Yeah.
Lawrence, and that
Yep.
was really good. So we're gonna be bringing that back, and then doing a little reality show too. I actually I with a camera woman up in from Film Girl Productions, we were up in the Bay Area, and we shot a behind the scenes look at how I find all of these stand ups. So it was like a combination reality and
Mm-hmm.
actual stand up show that's pretty cool. So
Yeah, I saw
I
that on
have a lot of
YouTube.
things. I'm at City Winery now in Philadelphia. I have a residency over there. I do a show called Bob Sumner's Laugh Mob Live. So we'll be there on November 4th with the next
Mm,
installment. We started in August. I just finished doing a celebrity softball game in memory of my dad for the American Cancer Society. That's
mm,
been pretty dear to my heart. So, I do a lot of things within my community, but then again, I have to hit the road. I have to make things happen because, like I said, um the narrative has changed since, I mean, George Floyd has changed Hollywood,
mm-hmm.
and I could tell
Yep.
because my business partner, he keeps me he keeps me abreast with. He used to manage Paul Reiser, who
Mm,
the show Mad About
mm,
You. So he
yep.
knows, the ins and out of what's going on behind them closed doors. And right now, I'm in the market for writers
Mm,
because that's what's happening right now. And some of these comedians, who maybe not aren't that tight with their
mm,
stand up, but their
mm-hmm.
ideas and stuff is good.
Mm.
Larry
Hey,
David's a
I'm about to
perfect
say Larry
example.
Davis getting that
Yeah,
money doing that.
yeah,
Hello.
yeah. So that's where I'm at. I mean, I'm in a lot of different places, but my hashtag is 21 is 91. And
Hello.
again, back in 91, I was able to change the game. I heard Shannon Sharp interviewing JB Smoove. And then I also heard T.I. interviewing Chris Tucker. And they were both talking about, can we ever get back to what that was? And I'm like, I'm sitting right here going, would you believe these fucking guys? Like, it's
The
like
architect is here.
every time I hear them talking about all of this, and I watch so many people. I even watched Def Jam try to do a Def Jam. They tried to do something. They had something on HBO, and I was like, oh my God. It's
Nah.
like we have to really, really know that if it's not broke, don't try to fix
Don't
it.
try to fix it. Come on, bro.
Nah, man. Nah, and if when you looked at that Def Jam 25, even in the in memoriam, Russell was asking me, man, Bob, you look like you getting teary eyed. I've said, man, I'm the only one in this room that know all 20 of those people who are no longer here.
Mm, mm. Hello. You was really in there behind the scenes, touching the people, really, day in and day out, putting in that work.
And
So, man,
when I look at now, I mean, since then, AJ just passed away a couple weeks ago.
right,
You know what I
right.
mean? And it's like it's just over and over, man. It just won't stop.
Yes,
It
sir.
just won't stop. And my condolences, man.
Yes,
You
sir.
know?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now,
Everybody's talking about my documentary and my book.
yes,
I
sir.
finally found a writer for my book. And the documentary, man, we're like all over the place with it because it's so many different elements. Like the pandemic slowed a lot up, but it just seemed like things are picking up now. And again, this thing that I'm doing with Spring Hill Productions,
That's
LeBron's
big.
incredible. It's really a trip because like they were like really drilling me for. I didn't realize that they knew me like they knew me. And
The real
I'm
people
like, it's
know,
a trip,
Bob.
man, because
The
I'm
real
not
people
really in the
know.
public's eye. Jackie has helped me. Jackie, let me tell you something about Jackie. Jackie, man, it's like she has really, really been in my corner to a point where it's like, wow, where have you been all my life? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Bob, I said the same thing too. I said, where have you
Right?
been my whole life? Where have you
Yeah,
been? Love you, Auntie.
yeah.
Salute alert. I gotta give a
Yeah.
salute alert to
He even
Auntie.
got my nephew an agent, man. You know what I mean? It was like my nephew, who's actually the brother who I was telling you, the basketball player,
Oh,
his
that's it.
nephew.
Yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah.
but
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, again, man, Bob, amazing, amazing time for the Roth Talk podcast. Again, thank you, my guy, my uncle. Hey, man, any last words you want to say before we get off here, man? And again, I thank you for pulling up, my guy.
I just want everybody to stay safe, man. You know, I mean, more than anything, it's real out here. And I mean, whether you want to get vaccinated or not, whether you want to still stay in the NBA or not, you know, it's you know, it is what it is. I'm really happy that my Raiders have unloaded Chucky. You know, you know, if do I want to say anything, I want to say a lot.
Say, talk your talk. Talk
Nah,
that
but
talk. We not
no,
playing that no more.
but in terms of inspiration, man, don't ever give up on your dream, because as long as you dream, you can accomplish anything that you set forth to do. Because you know, and I could really leave you with words from my godfather when I was 11 years old. Because a lot of people say that I still have the same swag that I had when I was 11, and I really do. And one of the things that my godfather said to me was, Bobby, you could walk with kings and queens, but don't you ever lose the common touch. And that's
Mm,
just what it is with me, man.
mm.
And who knew that I would be dealing with future kings and queens of comedy, you know,
Hello.
and people like you know, right here. I don't know if you see right over my head to my left, over my shoulder right here, up there,
Hmm.
that man with the white hat.
Yeah.
That's that's Dolomite. Rudy sent me that.
Mm,
You know, Rudy
mm.
sent me that. So Rudy looks over my shoulder whenever I'm sitting here, man. You know,
Mm.
and I just take stuff like that, because when the movie came out, like I kind of knew that they was working on something, and I'm just saying to myself, if Rudy saw this, because he actually I produced a show for All Star Weekend in Vegas back
Uh,
when, and that was one of Rudy's last performances ever.
oh wow.
and and J. Anthony Brown and these guys helped Rudy get on stage. He was in a wheelchair, and the first thing Rudy said when he got on stage was, "Let me tell y'all something." Right? He said, "Let me tell y'all something. I'm the real motherfucking king of comedy." The place, the place went crazy.
Hello,
Hey,
hello.
he could have dropped the
The
mic
mic
right
is just left me
there.
right there. Look, it was over right there because we already know King of Comedy, man. Listen, I would have
Let the
loved
truth
them.
be told.
Come
Let the
on,
truth be told. When you looked at, I mean, Rudy was producing all his stuff back then. It's two people, Rudy Ray Moore and Flip Wilson, was
hello,
ahead of the game, son.
hello, and that's why their names still ring bells to this day. And I mean, man, Bob, just hearing, man, so many stories and taking it from the young age to now, man, it's just, and man, you have had a blessed life, my guy. And I mean, everything. I'm gonna have to, like, everything you tell. We got to meet in person so I can shake your hands, so I get that some of that Midas touch you got over there.
Well, one of the things I was just going to ask you is, you are in Atlanta, right?
Nah, I'm in Virginia.
Oh, you're in Virginia?
Yes, sir.
What
I'm in,
part?
I'm in Virginia Beach, in the beach.
Okay, okay. You down there where Teddy migrated to.
Teddy, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's Tim and all of them,
Tim
right?
and Pharrell, yeah, I'm soaking in all the vibes.
Do you know that that's where I found Jay Farrow,
Mm. I
the
know
comedian?
yeah,
The
I know
comedian
some of
Jay
his people,
Farrow,
yeah.
man. I got a story. See, I have real stories that people see. You read these people's bios and stuff,
Hmm.
and it's not always what it was.
Hello.
You know what I
Hello.
mean? I mean, there's
Hmm.
always a little bit before that, just what I was telling you about Bernie's story, you know?
Right,
And
right.
I mean, but you know, it is what it is. But I found Jay Farrow in a place there because I had a friend of mine, Bobby and Chucky, their uncle Butch, had moved down to Virginia Beach, and he was working at a some joint. I think it was like on the afternoon shift or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And he had said that he had a coworker that had told him that, I was coming down there to do a showcase, and he wanted to know if he could get him on the showcase. So, for Uncle Butch, of course.
Yeah.
So he got on that stage, and I really, really enjoyed him. And he was very green, but he was good. So
Yeah.
when I decided to start the Laugh Mob brand, because again, I was trying to put the next generation of, what I had put out there before. And I had him come up from Virginia Beach to
Mm.
perform at Caroline's, and we had invited some agents out and stuff. And this one agent in particular took a liking for him to him because he was doing them
Wow.
impressions and stuff,
Yeah.
and got him a audition with Saturday Night Live, and
Come on, man.
he booked it. He booked it, and that was that
That was
was it.
it. That was
Yeah.
it. Because I remember I was, listening to him on the radio because he did a radio show with one of my friends. Shout out my boy J Rod, and he did it like the Will Smith and everything on air. And I'm
Right.
like, I
Right.
remember,
So
I'm like, yeah,
let's go back. Let's go back. Let me just say this to you. If I say the name Herman Hurston to you,
yes, sir.
if I say Angus Black to you,
I just talked to Angus about you probably about a month ago. I told him I was telling him I was like, yo, I'm gonna connect you with Bob. He said, I know Bob. I said, oh, for real?
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and then let me go flip this on you and talk about a place called Pizzazz. You ever heard of Pizzazz?
Yes,
You,
sir.
you ever heard of David's?
Yes, sir.
Hey,
you
and
you
those
really in
other
the
things. Hey, but I got one better than all of it for you, fam. All of it.
what's that?
Get Joe Pro on the phone.
Oh man, come on, man. Come on. You got the VA
Yo,
connects.
next time you talk to him, tell him to
Mhm.
hit me up. All
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just seen Joe probably like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. So come on.
That's my
I'm gonna
dude.
tell
And,
him.
and yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time, over the years down in Richmond and in Norfolk. And, Ronald Kerry, I used to do a lot of stuff with Ron, when
Yeah,
he would do
yeah,
his
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
For
And,
sure,
and,
for
and,
sure.
Charles,
Look,
and Charles,
man.
yeah. When Charles Oakley, I know Charles was playing ball down in Virginia back in the day, and him and
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Smith, they used to run. And I know Bruce.
Yep.
Bruce is from around your way. Yeah, and of course
Yep. Yep.
AI. Yeah,
Come on,
good
man.
stuff, man.
Yeah, you big
Yeah,
big VA connects going on, Bob. So you
yeah,
already know. And
yeah,
we already gotta hit that Zaza because it's legal beagle. So you gotta pull
yeah. I
up.
understand.
You
Yeah, I
know what I'm
do.
saying? Now you
Yeah,
gotta
I had my card anyway. I had my card.
we was good either way. But
Yeah,
no, it's
my back. I got a bad back.
yeah, hey, tell your doctor I need to see him too. My Batman.
My man.
Yes, sir, man. But again, Bob, this has been an amazing time. I don't even want to get off, Bob. The real time. I can talk to you for 2 more hours because I know you got so much more you can talk, so many things you can
Hey,
say.
man,
But
I can always. Hey, listen. On the for real, I can always come back because I got a call a day. Atlantic City want to mess with me. You
hmm,
know. So
hmm.
so I got some things down in the DMV. They've been talking to me. Like it's like in 2022, man. Watch out. Watch out.
Hello. Hey,
Watch
Bob,
out.
do you need an assistant? Because I'm available. Just so
Oh,
you know,
that
I'm
sounds like
available.
I got yeah. And then a big shout out to the newest member of Team Chappelle, one of my guys, Marshall Brandon. I've been
mm.
telling people about Marshall Brandon for 1,000 years, and Donnell Rollins brought Marshall along over to the Chappelle camp, and just watch out for him, man. Watch
Marshall
out for
Brand.
him.
I'm gonna
Marshall
check him out.
Brandon.
I'm gonna check
Yeah,
him
man.
out. Bob, you always got the plugs on what's about to like you can see it ahead of time. I mean, my guy, again, man, it's I can't wait for you to continue to get your flowers because it's still a lot of people out there that really, really, need to know this
Yeah.
information. They really
Hey,
need to know
listen,
this information.
the former everything at my high school, Roselle High School, he was a head football and track coach, Kenny Holmes, right? he has a new book that just come out, and his name is Kenny Holmes, and it's called Keep Your Eye on the Prize.
Hello.
I
Hello.
think that everybody listening here should pick up this book because I know his story, and I think that it would be pretty uplifting for everyone out here. So that's
I'm a,
something that I want to give that shout out to Coach Holmes because that's my man. That's
that's
one of my
love.
dad's best friends. Yeah.
Nah, Bob. Again, man, you stand up guy. I can look. You still got friends from high school, so that says a lot. You know what I'm saying? When you still doing business and got connections from high school, that's one thing you can tell a true character of somebody who don't change.
Don't know what I've done. You know what I mean? From my
Damn.
home. It's because it until they saw like the Def Jam 25, there's some people that just didn't know. And I'm good with that because it ain't for everybody to know. I ain't walking around with a big sign on my chest and all that. I ain't beat for that. Because I was born into this. That's
Yes,
the
sir.
difference. You know, that's really the difference. I tell you, we go all the way back to 5. You know what I mean?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. My bad. We just had a storm. We having a storm out here, so the power went out. But again, thank you again, Bob, for this
Right
dope
on.
interview. We're gonna do a part two. We're gonna do a part two.
Okay.
So I'm a hit Auntie up, and then we're gonna make it do what it do again.
Got you.
So
My man.
again, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. We had so many people pull in and show support, and through the commentary down there. I don't know if you can see the comments down there, but a lot of people just showing love. I'm gonna have this
Nice.
saved on my Instagram live, so you can always come back and watch it again. And it's gonna be on my podcast that I'm gonna be dropping probably closer to 2022. But I'm just getting all my footage and stuff together, and then I'm gonna, go ahead and do an official release of it. But again, you my guy. You are I'm gonna call you King Midas because you got that golden touch. You know how to, you know what I'm saying? You know how to
Thank you.
take them from the outhouse to the mansion, you know what I'm saying? So I need you to take me now. Now you got a new project, take Roth from the outhouse to the mansion. That's where I need you to take me.
Well, I want to send you my nephew. I want to send you. He did a cover of Ordinary People,
Mm.
and I just want you to. Yeah,
Send this.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Hello.
I'm gonna
Stay
send it
less.
to you. All right?
Say
Yeah,
less. All right. Well,
cool.
again, thank you again, Bob. Thanks for everybody tuning in. This is the Roth Talk podcast, and where we talk that talk. So I hope y'all enjoyed it today, like I enjoyed it. Again, Bob, safe travels. Oh, you got one more thing for me? Hell yeah, my guy. Hell yeah. and with that being said, we out this thing. God bless y'all and peace.
Peace.